Hi, and welcome to Not the Fuck Gaming Podcast, a podcast where we talk about games and sometimes we don't say fuck. I am William Hououin, and I'm with.
Gruebitten.
All right, it worked this time. We just
Yay!
had some kind of weird technical issues. Think it was on my
Yeah.
end, but it seems it's settled. So, how are you, Gru?
I'm doing pretty well.
All
Um,
right,
it's got some spring allergies and stuff, but other than that,
it's
well,
definitely the season for
yeah,
allergies.
well,
I
actually,
do have that too. Yeah.
yeah, it's been kind of a
Um.
rough month, but life.
Oh yeah. Allergies are like life. At some point, it's gonna be over. Uh, all right. So before I forget, because I often do, and we do that at the end, and I don't like that, I'm gonna read the comment we got last week, which is from Zachariah, which is
Woo!
the guy behind Old Man Gaming. Go subscribe to Old Man Gaming. They're doing podcasts too, and reviews, and a lot more content than I do. So if you want gaming content, it's a great place. Plug over. Okay, so hey, I watched the episode. That's the winner, definitely. So he was trying to find a an introductory phrase, sentence, and I think he got it now. It's hey, I watched the episode. So from now on, I guess all his comment will start with that. Mine on his podcast is hi exclamation point. So
Yeah.
uh, Dead Cells is a big deal for the roguelikes. I think it would be in the discussion for a game of all time, along with Hades and Rogue Legacy. Yeah, Dead Cells. I know you didn't like it. I understand it's really not your thing, but yeah, it's not a bad game for the roguelikes aficionados. It's
Yeah, well, that's what
definitely
I
up there.
said. That it's just roguelike is not my genre.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah. And it's fine. I completely understand. I've been on the anti roguelites for quite some time until I play Scourgebringer. But anyway, that's another discussion. Okay, slightly serious. Hate that ending. I'm a father of 7 years and a husband of 12. Yeah, he's married for the past 12 years. I don't think I'm very good at either, but every morning I wake up and I am here for the people I love. It's one thing if you fall out of love or you can't stay with your partner, but to just walk away is bull. Yeah, he's referring to the ending of what was it called? The game you dislike.
Old man's journey.
Oh yeah, Old Man Journey. Yeah, he's yeah.
Poor old man gaming. Now he has to share part of the name.
That's very true. And on the same subject, he say, unless you are a werewolf, maybe the uncontrollable murder kind, maybe then go away. Yeah, to save the one you love. Maybe just don't kill them when you're a
That's a good
werewolf.
reason.
That would be yeah. We would completely allow this.
Now that would
Oh,
be a really interesting story.
yeah, yeah. You mean yeah, a dude who left his family because he's a werewolf?
Yeah,
Yeah.
old werewolf's journey.
Also werewolf. Oh, and then he failed and killed everybody at the end.
Oh
And
God,
then the credit rolls.
that's horrible.
Uh, um okay, recommendation for Will this time. Try Moonlights. This game is top down like Zelda, but the premise is a roguelike. You are diving into a dungeon at night and collecting things, killing monsters, trying to survive. During the day, you run a store selling the things you found. In the dungeon, if you die, you lose your stuff and have nothing to sell, so you have to make the call when to get out. It's an amazing game. I actually tried that one back in I don't know if you remember Stadia. It was that Google online gaming thing, cloud gaming. And at some point, I don't know exactly how, I got a free trial for a month. And I played on my phone with my controller. And I try Moonlights, and for some reason, I really didn't like how the combat worked. But maybe I should try it again. Um, but I've played like 10 minutes, so there's a bunch of games where if you play for longer, you might understand it more. So okay, sorry I was late on the listen. Where we are always late on the next show anyway. Thanks for the show. Hashtag we're all senile. Oh yeah, because of my birthday story. Hashtag old/sides fan. All right. Anything to add, Gru?
Nope. I sounds great.
All right. So, what have you been playing since last time? It's been about 3 weeks, I would say, 2, 3 weeks since we spoke. Have you been playing anything? There's like, I don't know, 25 games that dropped on Apple Arcade in one day. Maybe
Um,
you tried some of those.
there's a lot of new games that dropped, and I haven't really played much of anything. I mean, mostly I've just been doing mindless grinding in games I already know how to play because I've just been kind of blah. It's been a
Oh,
blah month, one of those months.
oh
And
man,
I
that
don't know if you
sucks.
can hear this, but my cat is here and he's like purring into the microphone.
Well, I don't think I can.
Okay,
But
good.
if there's a cat purring in the microphone, it's
Oh,
it's fine. I think most of our listeners would be fine with that.
okay. Um,
Uh, yeah,
so I only played 3 new gardens. I mean, 3 new gardens.
3 new gardens. All right. What's only
3
garden
new
games?
um 3 new games. The first one was Nightmare Farm by Hit Point Co. And yeah, that
Doesn't
one's
ring a bell.
almost nobody's playing it, and I think it's because it's actually kind of boring.
Nightmare Farms.
Yeah, Nightmare Farm. It's from Apple
Farm.
Arcade. It's on Apple Arcade. Yeah.
Huh.
Um.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I,
really cute, but
I probably saw it on, Apple Arcade because the images are kind of familiar. So
yeah.
what's this game about? Is it like a Stardew Valley?
Um. mm, Kind
No.
of. It's got like the gothic set aesthetic, which I love, and it's really cute and adorable, and the stories are adorable,
It
but
does look like that, yes.
it's really slow,
Huh.
and there's not much to do. Um, but like if you want to like open it up, do like 1 to 2 minutes of gameplay, then close it up, and then like come back an hour later and do the same thing. It's the game for you. Um, but I dislike opening a game and closing a game and opening a game and closing a game and opening a game and closing a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not my thing.
I guess it's aimed at super casual people who
Yes,
back in the day played like that Facebook farming game.
exactly. Yes, it
Yeah.
reminds me really of one of those.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
go play for a few minutes and, that's it. Go do the laundry
You
and
have
then
a 8 slots of 8 farm slots to farm in, and that's it. You can't expand.
wow, yeah, that's not a lot.
No, it's not a lot.
It's like it's even less than villagers and heroes, and the gardening in villagers and heroes is like 5% of the gameplay. So
I mean, most of the time you sit there watching apples grow. Um,
yeah, yeah,
it's
it doesn't sound too exciting.
yeah, it's you put your 8 apples in, and then you spend a minute staring at them while they grow. And there's really not much to do in the meantime. You can put down some food for your there's a dog that comes and a bear that comes and an octopus that comes and stuff. And you can put down food for them, but the fastest thing for the dog to do takes 1 minute and 40 seconds. the fastest thing for the bear to do takes 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The octopus
Yeah.
is even longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
apples, yeah, they're 1 minute to grow. Then the next tier up is the mushrooms, and those take 10 minutes to grow. The next tier up is the seashells. Those take 40 minutes to grow. So you're trying to
Yeah.
grind for your 40-minute thing, and you have 8 slots, and yeah. And there's not a lot to do in between. It's just you just close up the game and go do something else. And again, it's like if you want to do the super casual thing, it'd be great. But for me, it was like, okay, yep, done. Bye.
It's fine. It's completely fine.
Oh, and the other thing was there was absolutely no words, labels to help you figure out how to play the game. There's like everything was done with like pictures, which I guess is great because they don't have to translate it into different languages.
Yeah,
But
and you don't have to know how to read.
yeah, but like the objectives, there are 2 daily objectives. It a picture of the dog and times 1. And then there's a picture of the bear times 1. I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? There's a dog right here and a bear right here. There's 1 of each. Why is my objective not objectifying or objectiving or whatever it's called?
I guess it's a game for non-gamers. You're too much of a hardcore gamer for this game.
I don't know, but it's still driving me nuts. And like you said, nobody knows about this game. There's no help for it. I could not find what puppy times 1 and bear times 1 was, and I spent 2 days doing this, that, and the other, trying to figure out what puppy times 1 and bear times 1. I got bear times 1 somehow. I don't know.
Well, uh, it does look cute, you know. If we try to stay on the positive side, it looks
It
cute.
is it is adorable, and
I'll put some gameplay on the screen so everybody can see because nobody's playing it. So
the story is adorable too. So if you're into casual stuff, yeah, go for it.
all right, what else have you been playing, Weary?
The Survivalists by Team 17. They're the same group that made Farmside, which I love. I've maxed out on Farmside, by the way. Hit max level, finished all the quests, and
It's on Apple Arcade too, right?
yeah. And I'm
Because the
waiting
name
for
is familiar.
they've got a new update coming. It was supposed to drop already, but they ran into some problems. So yes.
Maybe they were playing too much of Nightmare Farm and they didn't have time. Yeah, I see the pictures right now. I know what it is.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, back to the Survivalists.
Yes.
So I guess that's their survival game. It looks older than Farmside. I think Farmside's their new game. I'm not sure though. It actually hit a lot of my open world survival buttons, but I had a bad experience.
Oh.
Yeah. I went out and I was exploring the island, and like it has a steep learning curve at the beginning. I struggled for a while to figure out what I was doing and how to stay alive and stuff. Running away a lot helps. But I finally was getting the hang of things, and this is starting to be successful. And I went out and I explored the island, and I was going all around and got a little too cocky and died. So, well, that's my own fault. So I head back over to loot my corpse or pick up my things. It was a couple weeks ago now. I kind of forget what the mechanism was. And my game crashed. And I hadn't saved for like 2 hours.
Oh. Can you save anytime?
You can. I did not know that at that
Okay, so
point.
all right, all right. At least it's on you.
Yes.
What I mean is it's not the game is badly made, and when it crashes, you lose everything. You could have saved once every 15 minutes, let's say, if you wanted to. Just for people who would be interested. It's not like because you can only save when you sleep or something like that.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think they added like Stardew Valley did that. I think they added in a save anytime because the tutorial when you're doing entering the game tells you can only save by sleeping in the bed. But I did find out later you can save at any time in like the options menu.
All right, so maybe they should
Update their
put some
tutorial.
emphasis on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So
all
yeah,
right.
I
So
got
yeah, but this is bad. Of course, this is super annoying. This,
yeah. I
yeah.
mean it's still a good game. I just had a bad experience. And I will probably go back to it. I've been feeling the itch to check it out again, but I just needed some time.
Yeah, redoing the last 3 hours is kind of annoying for sure. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. But
Yeah.
all right. All right. But
And
seems it's I'm happy to I'm actually happy to hear that there's a steep learning curve because it's nice to know that there's some more quote unquote serious game on Apple Arcade. Games with a bit more depth and a little bit more maybe difficult than just casual stuff. So
yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's good that there's more complex games.
Yeah. And it seems like there's a lot to it. And oh, there's multiplayer.
Oh,
Yeah, it's got
that's
multiplayer.
interesting. All right.
Um, so I have not explored it a lot yet. I don't know much about it, but I'm looking forward to finding out more.
All
And
right.
the last one I played was Manifold Garden by William Cheer Studio. I don't know how to say that. Cheer. Um. Anyways, that one was fun too. It's a puzzle game. It reminds me of a mellow Portal.
Huh.
It's you don't have a wacky computer trying to kill you, and there's no time limits, and there's no portals, but you solve
All right. This is
it's a mellow
exactly like
Portal without
Portal.
any
My God, it sounds really like Portal.
exactly like
This is, yeah. This is a Portal
um
like.
and it,
Um,
well you solve puzzles by changing gravity.
I'm looking at pictures. I like doing that when you talk to me about games I don't know. It
So
looks great.
basically you change which way is up.
Huh.
And it's kind of trippy because the whole world rotates and then physics works, but now it's got a new up and a new down.
Interesting. Did you complete it? Did you play all
No,
of it? No, okay.
no, I haven't gotten very far. I got stuck. I got 2 achievements so far, and then I got stuck. I'm
Achievements. We will need to talk about achievements at some point. I'm beginning to be a bit obsessed by achievements.
yeah. I got
But
one by I finished the beginning area, got out, and you go into this area, and there's like all these building type places, like kind of floating in space, and you're looking down and around, and you can change gravity there too. And I'm like, what would happen if I just kind of jumped off this bridge? So I did, and I got an
all right.
achievement, but I'm not going to tell you what happened.
All right, all right. All right.
um,
Seems you've been enjoying this though.
yeah, yeah, it's good. The gameplay is smooth and it's fun. So.
All right.
And looking at the achievements, it looks like there's more in-depth gameplay to it too. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right. That's great. That's great. You're really getting out your $5 from Apple Arcade.
I am. There's a
Um,
lot of good games on there. I'm surprised.
there's quite a few. There's a bunch of, like throwaways, old games that they just re-release on that, which is kind of nice if you liked an old game that is not available anymore on the regular Apple App Store. But there's a bunch of good games. I've played quite a few. Do you have a Netflix subscription?
I do.
Because
Why
if
did
you
they have
do,
games?
oh boy, you didn't know about that. R- Type in, well, maybe not right now, but Netflix games on Apple on the App Store. There's a bunch of games, and you enter your credential from your Netflix subscription, and you can play them all for free. And there's a bunch. I'm
Ooh.
talking about maybe 25, 30 games, some of very, very high quality, like Oxenfree, that narrative mystery games I've played on stream at some point.
Uh-huh.
And there's a bunch of strategy games. There's a few brawlers, like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. There's a bunch. Type that. Go, and there's a bunch of like like those. How do they call that? It's like a film with real people. It's like a movie, but you make some choices. Not like Until Dawn, like a real movie, like real people being filmed and doing stuff. How do they call that? Um,
I don't know.
there's a name for those type of games.
All I can think of is cutscenes.
Yeah, well, yes, but no.
But yeah, no, that's like a live action scene in a regular game. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen those.
Yeah, there's FMV games.
Huh.
If you type FMV games, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's a bunch of games. I'm looking right now. We're talking about yeah, more than 30, I think.
So
Games like Exploding Kittens.
is
There's
it?
Moonlighter that we talked a bit when Zach recommended me the game. Um, Arcanium, I don't know, a bunch of stuff. Racing games, Stranger Things, the game, Stranger Things 1984, the game. Go look at that. There's a bunch.
Cool.
So yeah. Anyway, go look at that. But yeah, it's crazy that. Well, it's not crazy that you didn't know about Netflix games, but
That is kind of crazy because I usually
I should have mentioned that earlier because it's kind of think Apple Arcade, but it and with your Netflix subscription, you don't have to you don't pay more, you don't pay for the games. It's just bundle in. You cannot opt out of Apple Arcade games. You have it. That's it. You can just um you know play the games. You just need your credential, email and passwords. Same as your Netflix. Oh,
um,
before your eyes, you should really play this on Netflix. It's the game that when you blink, the scenes moves forward, and you're going through the life of somebody who just died from the very beginning, like their
ooh.
baby, to the point where they die. And there's a bunch of I won't spoil it because it would be really bad, but you know, you'll have some surprises. Just what I'm saying. It's yeah, you should really play that. And it's like, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how you blink.
When
It's
you
really not
said
long.
Blink, I thought of that Doctor Who episode.
All right, we're back. On my end, I haven't played that many games. It was my birthday in late April, and my mother gave me some cash. And I decided to buy a game that I thought was way too pricey. Um, On the PSN store, the PS4 version was 79.99,
Oh,
which is
wow.
yeah, which is like triple super duper A pricing for a game that is made by a somewhat small company and is
Uh-huh.
somewhat janky and a bit buggy
Oh,
and
no.
very, very, very badly reviewed. We're talking 4 out of 10 reviewed. So I didn't want to buy that, but my mom gave me some cash, and so I thought, ah man, I've been wanting this game for like 2 months, and I got it on Amazon for like quite a bit less, like 60, but it's still $60. It's still quite a bit for a game.
Yeah, that's
I'm
still
used.
premium pricing.
Oh yeah, premium definitely. I usually pay my games under 20 all the time, so I have my little wish list on the PSN, and sometimes games come on sale like 80% off, and so they're like 9.99, and this is usually when I buy my games. But anyway, I finally bought it, played it, and this is pretty much only what I've been playing since we last spoke. And it's Wanted Dead, a game made by Soleil, which means sun in French, but it's a Japanese company. But anyway, and it's made by ex-Team Ninja members that worked on the Ninja Gaiden series. And so it's an action game, super violent, a bit janky, but it's amazing. I'm having like an amazing time playing this, and uh,
So you
played on.
disagree with the reviews?
I completely disagree. Look, it's the reviewers put, I think, so little time in the game, and I'm pretty sure I know when they dropped it off, like in the middle of the first stage. And I feel they reviewed that um, like someone would review Super Mario World without finding the jump button. And so I cannot stop
Ah,
in my head the video reviews that would be like, they start walking and they die to the first enemy in Mario World. And now they're like, this game needs an easy mode. The story, there's no story. I can't understand. This is crazy. This is a bad game. And then if you just found out about the jump button, it would have changed your life quite a bit. And
uh-huh.
I feel I'm, I'm speaking the hyperbole language of the internet. Of course, it's not that bad, but you start the first stage. It's. I don't know if you have any idea of Ninja Gaiden, what it is. Third person like action game with a katana and you slice enemies.
I
Um,
think I've seen a little bit of it. It's not my thing,
it's kind
so
of a niche action game. Well, it's widely known, but by action game people, it's a very hard game. Very few people are usually playing this good to completion. Um, but there's guns too, and you're like a police officer, but in a kind of a private police in future Hong Kong, where there was that big war, and now they're making like some kind of robots to work and stuff. And you're a member of the police force, and you have guns, you have assault rifle. There's a bunch of guns, all the regular shotguns and stuff like that. And you're slicing and dicing your way through 5 levels. There's like once you know how to play the game, I would say completing the game is like maybe 3-4 hours. But the first time on normal, it took me 20 because there was a lot of trials and errors and learning the patterns and how to block. I would say I didn't know how to play before stage 4, and in stage 4 things are getting real rough, and you really need to learn how to parry and counter attacks because the enemies are really really strong. And then I've been playing on stream on hard mode, and off stream I'm doing the Japanese hard mode, which is like very hard, and I'm having a fantastic time playing playing Wanted Dead, and I completely disagree with the bad reviews. It's hard. You need to learn to play, and it's there's some jank. I made a short video of because my PS4 when I'm playing is always recording the last hour of gameplay, and so we when you press some button, you can go back and look at the latest hour of what you've played. And the second boss was really really hard, and I finally beat him, and he got this knee kick when he jump in the air and travels a very very wide distance. And this is what was giving me a lot of trouble. And looking back at the gameplay, I made a short. I'll put the link in the description if you want to see it. It's like a 15-second video just showcasing his knee kick. And
Yes,
I
definitely.
yeah, you saw it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's something else.
the dude is jumping with his knee to kick you, and I rolled away like in another direction from what he was doing. And while in the air, he's turning around to follow me. This is kind of crazy. Um,
It's
and
usually the kind of mechanic that players get where you can turn in the air and
yeah,
do
yeah.
crazy things. But I guess they
So
gave it to the NPC.
yeah, and this dude is hard. Is really really hard. This is, I think, the hardest boss in the game. Even on my first playthrough, like stage three, I beat the boss in I think 3 attempts or something like that. But this boss, the second stage boss, it took me 2 days to beat him.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh, Now I'm not a top tier action game players. I'm not, they're I'm sure many on the Wanted Dead Discord, like there's a lot of people saying this boss is hard, and there's always that dude saying, well, I beat him first time. Yeah, I know there's some people that are super good at games, and it's all right. But
I don't
it
know. I
took me.
think 4 out of 5 of those aren't actually real.
Oh yeah, prove it. It's like in some games, there's sometimes some people find techniques to cheese some part of the game, make it way easier than it is. And there's always
Mhm.
those people saying, well, it makes the games way too easy, that's dumb. And you're looking at the achievement and the completion of the game is below 10%. And you think, well, if it's that easy, why do everyone don't complete the game?
Yeah.
It's yeah, and I've been quite obsessed with achievements lately. I don't know why. I would say since Scourgebringer, I'm trying to get as many achievements as possible. I did that in Streets of Rage 4, um, and now
They're
I'm doing this.
fun.
What?
Achievements are fun. I don't know
Yeah,
why, but they are.
yeah. It gives you some goals, and you feel some accomplishment when you unlock them, even though you actually did absolutely nothing. But um, in Wanted Dead, there's an achievement for getting all. There's some mini games in between stages, and they're not great. There's that fucking karaoke mini game, and you sing 99 Luftballon, and that's the only song there is. And you have to. It's
Cool.
like Dance Dance Revolution, where you have to when you have to uh press the button at the right time, like down X, left circle, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And this is super annoying. I hate that. But of course, there's an achievement for doing a perfect 99 Loft Balloon thing, so I will have at some point to do it. But there's an achievement too. There's a crane mini game where you move the crane like in those like at the fair and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and the crane drops down and there's figurines to get. And I got the achievement of having all the fucking figurines. Took me like 2 hours to get that. And and looking at the achievement, there's 3.3% of people that got it, of the people who play the game. So,
Sweet.
so yeah, I also got the achievement of doing a stage without using any healing items. This is 2% completion for that
That's
one.
impressive.
Yeah, I was very happy about that. It took me a lot of routing and knowing exactly. And this is what I like, though. You need to learn the game, and this is what happens when I played the game on normal. It took me a lot of time, but at some point, through skills and also luck, I finally beat it. But once the difficulty jumps up, there's no luck anymore. You have to learn how to play. You have to learn what to do and when to do it, because there's no more. Oh, I'll get lucky at some point. That aspect is gone. You have to learn, and I like that. I really like that.
I really
When the game
prefer
is fun to
games
play.
that, yeah, I prefer games that don't rely on luck.
Yeah,
I'm
of course. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of a lot of RPG. I mean, RNG.
yeah, RNG. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably why you're not a big fan of roguelike and roguelites, because it's very hard to track your skill progress, because depending on the weapons or spawn you'll get, it's going to be a lot easier or a lot harder, and it's not on you. You cannot choose to get the best gun at the beginning of the first stage of the game. Maybe
Mm.
you won't get it at all.
I
And
usually have terrible luck with RNG.
yeah, and the run you will get that super gun or that super skill or whatever, you will fare a lot better, and you might complete the game and think, "Oh, hey, I got better at playing this game." No, actually, you still suck. You just got the good gear at the start. So it's hard to track when with an action game like Wanted Dead, there's no RNG. There's no. It's always the same enemies spawn at the same place. You always have access to the same stuff. So when it when you feel it's getting easier, it's because you're getting better. It's
That's
very easy
nice.
to track how you. Yeah,
It's all up
uh,
to your skill.
it's all up to your skills. There's skills you can unlock through skill points that you get by killing enemies and playing those freaking crane machines in between stages, which is a good incentive to play those crane game. But it's not an RPG. You don't get level. You cannot say, "Oh, I'll grind this," like in the traditional GRPGs, where you grind a particular spot for sometimes get to level 50 and kill the boss in 2 hits because you're over leveled. It doesn't exist in Wanted Dead. You cannot grind to get better. You just
I
need to be
kind of
better.
like that though, because too much grind gets really boring.
Too much grind is really boring, and it's a lot
Yeah.
of bloat. And this year I've been playing mostly arcadey game. We talked about that last time, and it made me realize how some games have so much. I don't know any other words than bloat to describe it.
That's a really good description of it.
Just going, or going back to some place to do something and get, and those back and forth through some places, and it's just walking, and you realize,
Oh,
oh my god. Because at some point, one of the big selling points for games became like, there's 100 hours of gameplay. This got huge
yeah.
at some point, this phrase. um but what if out of those 100 hours, 80 are just running around and boring?
Yeah.
A good game, a good short game, you can replay it. And if pressing the buttons is fun, it's going to be fun a second time and a third time and a fourth time. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's obviously a space for very long game with a lot of story and a lot of content. I'm not against long game. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah. And
But
and
sometimes
some
it's
grind is good too because you need that kind of lull and then the feeling of achievement. But I don't know, it seems like there's, like you said, there's been a trend of just upping the grind levels to insane. Be like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Well, if you don't want to do it, then, well, you're just, you should.
or sometimes it's just a way to incentivize some monetization. Will inconvenience you for something. You can grind for 20 hours, or you can give us 199 and boom, it's gonna be done. It's up to you.
Or in some games, you literally have to grind for 90 days,
Yes, there's that too. Yes.
like a month and a half or 3 months. Or I think I need more sleep.
We all do. We all do.
90 days is 3 months, not a month and a half. Okay.
So yeah, anyway. Um so yeah, this is what I've been playing. I've been enjoying this a whole lot, and it made me think of something for a talking point this week. Well, not this week. I need to stop saying that. Um for this podcast. Uh, is what feature would you like to see more often in games? And I'm going to start with one because we're talking about Wanted Dead, and this is the game that made me think of it. And on my end, it's um, New Game Plus, but done right. If I have one critique, one real critique for Wanted Dead, is that when you finish the game, you unlock New Game Plus. So, oh, you say, nice, let's go and see what it's like. And it's exactly the same. It's just the same. You just start with all your skill upgraded, with all your skills unlocked. But same enemies, same levels, same items, same story. It's and it's kind of disappointing. Um,
Hmm.
in Grim Valor, a game I've covered a lot on this channel, when you finish the game, you unlock New Game Plus. And when you go into New Game Plus, there's new enemies, there's new way to upgrade your gear, the secrets. There's some treasures scattered all over the map. They're not in the same places. The maps are the same, but they're shuffled around. Like, you know, in the normal game, the key to open a particular door is up, but then they changed it and it's now down or something like that. You cannot rely too much on what you learned in the normal game to find your stuff in New Game Plus. It's not a new game, but it's definitely like some kind of DLC. Uh, and I like that. In Ninja Gaiden, there's no new game plus, but when you jump into hard mode, there's new enemies, and some older enemies have some new moves. Uh,
Oh.
yeah, it's nice because it keeps things fresh, and there's new challenges, and there's some secret items that are not in the same places. You unlock some new weapons through other means. I won't go into too much detail, it's not relevant, but um, it's when you jump into hard mode, it's different. In Wanted Dead, when you jump into hard mode, it's actually exactly the same, but enemies have more health and
Blah.
they hit harder. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, on one hand, it incentivize you to play better and not get hit because when you get hit, you lose more health. But at the same times, and now I'm playing on Japanese hard, and enemies are freaking HP pools. It's so long to kill any enemies, and yeah, it's
If
disappointing. I would have
Yeah,
liked
if there's nothing
something
new, it's
else.
just tedious, I think.
it became tedious. As I said, I like having to play more strategy, strategically. I can't say that word, but um, there's some pluses, but I would have liked another type of hard mode than just than just more health to enemies and less on your side.
Yeah.
Um, this is definitely something I would fault Wanted Dead for. Um, so yeah, I like New Game Plus. This is something I would like to see more. But New Game Plus that gives you something special to replay the game, not not just you can. I don't need a New Game Plus to replay the game if New Game Plus is the same. I can just start a new save file and replay the game. I don't see what New Game Plus brings to the table in this case. Well, you have all your skills, but then all the skill points you gain during the play, the New Game Plus playtime is useless. So
Yeah.
it's yeah. So this is one of mine. I have another one, but if you want to go with one, go ahead.
Well, I
If you have
guess
any,
because of my disaster with the survival game, autosave.
yeah, autosave is good. There's one thing I would say. I like my autosaves separate
Separate.
from my
Yeah.
manual save.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
I
but
love
yeah,
that. I play games like that. Yeah. Where if something happens, you you can load up and then you have a choice. You can do your manual saves or there's also an auto save thing.
yes, this is the right way to do it because a bunch of games I've played have autosaves, but this is the only save. You cannot, you, you know, if you wanted to have a save file just before a particular boss to do some practice or before a particular anyway,
Yeah.
you can't. If the game auto saves anyway, well, that's it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with you there. Yeah.
but yes,
Both a
auto save.
manual
Yes,
option and then the auto save for just convenience's sake.
yeah. When, for example, the game crashes, at
Yeah.
least you know if the game auto saves every 5 minutes, well, you would have lost only 5 minutes
Well,
instead of 3 hours. Yeah.
if I had known that you could save at any point, then it would have been my bad, but at that point I didn't know that.
Yeah. At the same time, if you can save at any time, the game could do some autosaves too.
True.
One doesn't.
So what's your second?
My second that I really like, in particular in action game, is randomizers. So this is a mode where everything will be shuffled around. Like
Mm.
items will be in different places, bosses will give different items. In Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, there's a randomizer mode, and I've played Bloodstained a whole lot more because of that. Um, Bloodstained is a Metroidvania type of game, like Castlevania,
Yeah.
and the fact that those games are all about learning the maps, finding the treasures, and beating the bosses. And it's super fun. But once you know where everything is, at some point it gets old. Um,
Ah.
but with the randomizer mode, you start the game, and in the first chest, you could have like the best weapon in the game, and then cheese through everything. Or you could get no weapon and have to beat the first boss with your bare feet in the case of Bloodstain, because when the main character doesn't have any weapon, she do some karate kicks. So and it happened to me, and it was great because I had to learn to fight the boss because I was doing 1 damage,
Oh
and the boss
wow.
have like I don't know 500 HP or something. So it took like 15 minutes to beat the first boss.
Holy
Yeah,
moly.
it was pretty
Wow.
hard, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice that it happened. It would never happen in a normal game because there's
Yeah.
fixed weapon you can get.
But
So
that's kind of cool that you have both the regular and the random.
yeah, absolutely. I think randomizer. It's all about procedural generation in the end of the day. Um, and I think more action games should include that mode. A lot of game on PC, the communities around those games are building randomizers. Uh, there's a big community on Castlevania Symphony of the Night that are doing like randomizers tournaments and stuff. Still
Oh,
to this day, yeah,
that
still
brings
to
up
this day,
another thing that I think is great is modding.
yeah, absolutely. Uh,
Um, yeah, I mean, it seems like it's a win-win. The players get different neat ideas and ways to play, and the devs don't have to do actually much work themselves.
this is how Bethesda works. They release a game and then they hope the modding community will make the game thrive through the years. It
Yep.
worked incredibly well with Skyrim. If not for the mods, I don't think people would play as much as they're playing still to this day. And they can
Really?
re-release the game. Re- what do
I
you mean?
guess because I only have it on the Switch, so it's very
Yeah, there's no
limited and
mods. Yeah,
yeah. But now that
but
I
you still
think about
play?
it, I think they added in some of the mods as official things, didn't they?
I don't know.
Like
Since I'm
there's
not a PC
fishing
gamer,
now and stuff.
since oh, you mean yeah, they would have include some mods in their own game, yeah, like officially.
Yeah, like there was an update on the Switch and now like you can fish and stuff.
I'm not I'm not a PC gamer, so I wish I
I
was sometimes.
don't actually know. I wasn't prepared for this and didn't do any research, so
Yeah. Well, to your defense, I'm gonna say it publicly. I the way I'm doing this is I'm sending Gru's the plan for the podcast. I send it to her at 8:40 a.m. today, and we were recording the podcast at 9:45. So she had like an hour to prepare. So
well, I meant like
it's
Skyrim. I
rough.
wasn't expecting Skyrim wasn't on your plan anyways, so
Yeah, it wasn't. But yeah, when like the talking point of what feature would like to see more often in games, she's been on the know just 1 hour before the podcast. So I'm not easy to work with. I'm glad I have
I
Gruebitten as a
disagree
co-host.
about that. I think you're very easy to work with.
I'm kind of unpredictable, but uh, well, I'm glad we're doing this anyway. So yeah, sometimes I wish I was a PC gamer. I've seen Asus just are releasing like soon some kind of Steam Deck, but obviously not the Steam Deck, but a portable gaming consoles. And this is something I've been really looking into, but I just don't have $1,000 to buy one.
Well, I
But I
don't know
think it's
why.
but it's something I would like. I think I'm a real fan of portable gaming. I love to play games. You know, when I play games
Yes.
on my phone with my controller plugged in, it's pretty close to a Switch on portable mode or a PlayStation Portable or Vita or whatever. I like that. I really do. And something like the Steam Deck is definitely a great place to start the gaming PC type of thing. In a way, I would like because playing in front of a computer screen is not something I enjoy at all. The keyboard and mouse type of controls, I really don't like that. I am really a gamepad player. Uh, so a portable gaming console would really get me into PC gaming. I think it's just too expensive.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Any more features you would like to see more often in games?
Um, no, but speaking of features, I did forget to mention that Manifold Garden has colorblind mode. So,
Oh,
which
this
is
is
really
good.
nice.
Yeah,
Yes, it actually
accessibility. Yeah.
doesn't have just one, it's got 5 colorblind modes, one of which is customizable. So you can customize it to your precise needs.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, I meant to mention that earlier and forgot.
All right, so stupid question of the week. Let's do that quick. Um, you have an SUV. It's the zombie apocalypse. You have an SUV and a baseball bat. Where are you going first?
I'm dying.
All right, I like that. Um,
Let's be real here.
I would be one of the first to die in a zombie apocalypse. That's for sure. Uh, I was thinking going like to the grocery store, but there's probably a bunch of people who would do that. Then I thought about the pharmacy, like a drugstore. We call that pharmacy here. Drugstore, but there would be probably a lot of people doing that too. So maybe I would just stay home and enjoy playing Wanted Dead until the dead came to get me, and I would die, and that's it. So on
Yeah.
that note, thank you very much for talking games with me. It was a pleasure as always.
Well, thank you. Same here. And hopefully we can do it sooner next time and our
Yes,
schedules will match up. It wasn't just you this time.
yeah, we always say that, and it's always a month. And maybe we should do this monthly, and so it would be at least on schedule.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
And if we can do it more often, then hey, we're ahead of schedule.
we're ahead of schedule. Yeah, yeah. If we should advertise this as a monthly podcast. All right. So anybody who watched this, listen to this, thank you very much. Leave us your comments. We'll get to them as we always do with Zach's comment. I'm very grateful I have Zach commenting, but I wouldn't mind having more. So yeah, comment, do stuff like subscribe and all those YouTube things that you all know how to do. So that's it. Thanks for talking games with me, and I'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.